Mr. Lee, good morning. Sorry. If anybody can make millions on YouTube, it'll be Moggs. No, I have not. I will put that on my list. The video that they were talking about last night, and you put the link in chat. Thank you so much. Uh, I would have, if I'd have been able to give you the link last night, I would have to the volcano. But my list of stuff to do is getting longer by the minute. I think the fact that a lot of them are disappearing without a phone says a lot. It's I don't necessarily like having a phone all the time, but at the same time, it's rare I forget my phone here at the house and go out and do anything. You know, if I'm going out hiking or something, I'm taking my phone with me, period. I went to get some groceries the other day, and I was sitting out in the driveway in the truck, and I realized that I had forgotten the phone in the house. I just went ahead and got the groceries and come straight back home. But if I was going up on the mountain and was halfway there, I would turn around and come back and get the phone. Well, it depends on who I'm talking to, Mr. Lee. Some people can't get them off the phone fast enough. Other people say hello, and before you know it, 2 hours have passed. You know, people that want to talk about subjects, cool subjects, that's one thing. But people who want to just hear their own voice, not so much. Me too, Mr. Lee. The best situation is face to face conversation. Again, with people who know how to converse. Next best thing is telephone. And there's a place for texting, but you know, it has its narrow range, shall we say. And then emails, I really like emails. I only do emails on the computer. I don't have it linked to my phone because it's a phone, not a typewriter. Well, Mr. Lee, if I lived down the street, I wouldn't have to knock on your door. You'd hear me coming because I'd be on a motorcycle and you'd go, up, time to go ride. Am I right or am I right? Hear me coming on a motorcycle, would go ride. Well, phones aren't like they used to be these days. You know who's calling with caller ID and everything. I'm putting that list on now, Mr. Lee. Is it titled "The Missing Scientist Case is So Much Worse Than You Think"? Good morning, Khadijah. Yeah, Mr. Lee, if we could get on a couple of bikes and go ride the Blue Ridge Parkway, you'd love it, buddy. Especially on a fall day. It's cool. You got twisties, you got some straightaways, you got fantastic views, uh, different floral smells. Sometimes you get the bad side and there's a skunk, but most of the time it's good. Khadijah, dear, I hope you're having a great start to your day. It's already 70 degrees here. My AC is just a chugging. The Mr. Lee, the Parkway is a good place for like a 650 adventure bike. It is perfect for those. All right, it's queued up, and I'll play it and listen to as much as I can afterwards. Khadijah, I'm on my cup and a quarter. I got over enthusiastic with putting the honey in there this morning. took a couple of sips and had to make a run to top off the cup, knock back some of that sweetness. Khadijah, I hope your arm's doing better. We definitely have you on our prayer list. Uh-oh, I got to catch up, Khadijah, if you're one up on me. Yeah, that's a bit big. For around town, 500 is plenty. And the lightweight will the lightweight will help you maneuver when you need to. Uh, there's a group that I'll email, and it's worldwide to put on a prayer list, and it seems to get pretty good results. I'm a firm believer that I'm alive because of a lot of people praying. Yeah, Mr. Lee. Honda made a 250 Hornet, but it was never available here in the States. It was available everywhere else, but not here. And I wanted one of those so bad. It was a hot rod. Charlie Rose, good morning. Khadijah, that's something that I have never been able to do. Tomatoes and eggs just don't work for me. Tomato, eggs and cheese does pretty good. Yeah, Mr. Lee, if you'll go to a website called bikez.com, bikez.com, uh, you'll be able to find it there for sure. I use it for research often. Let me. That's the website name. Yeah, it was a little. It was a little. Just a little pocket rocket. I mean, it was something else. This was, I want to say the late 80s that this was a thing. I know it was available in Canada. I guess it would be available in the UK. Sharon Guy, good morning. So nice of you to stop in. John B. Uh, well, Sharon, good luck. We're actually getting some rain. Everything has turned green. Finally, it rained for a few days before the green started coming out. Uh, Later, the 250 Hornet was such a good success. I think they come out with a 600 Hornet. They called it a naked bike because it didn't have too many extras, just seat, two wheels, and lots of power for the engine displacement. Uh, Mr. Lee, you know WTF Mike that comes into chat, buddy. He has a Kawasaki. Uh, Pretty much, it's a barely street legal race bike. WTF Mike. Uh, Mike, I know you've got that Kawasaki. Would you type the exact model number? I don't remember the model number, but he's got one of those Kawasaki's that's like 200 horsepower. The gang's all here. Sharon's burning up. She says it's 90 degrees where she's at, 90 Fahrenheit. KRT. I couldn't remember. Thank you, Sharon. Mike, you be sure to thank YKB for stopping in the other morning. It was good to see him. You'll probably talk to him. Yeah, those bikes, uh, those bikes have so much power and cost so much. I don't need to go near them. I like testing the limits of whatever I'm using and my limits to be able to use it to its fullest. Soul Star. Sharon, WTF Mike says hello. I think Sharon is driving. Both Sharons, I believe, are driving. And of course, both Sharons get a hello from everybody. Sharon with two R's is in the grocery store. Nah, Mr. Lee, give it a little time. Yeah, with Mike, you just never know what's coming up next. If anybody comes in while I'm gone, I'm just topping off my coffee. I'll be right back. Mr. Lee, what day in August? Yeah, John P's been in both. Mike's been in both. Khadijah, Sharon. There's a handful of people that'll pop in on the Nature Channel. They'll stay for about 5 or 10 minutes and then they disappear. They just lurk. So, Mr. Lee, what day in August? Because I know a lot of August birthdays. Ninth. Nope. Can't think of anybody born on August 9th off the top of my head. Stuff gets by me all the time. Yep. Well, mine is 1 week after your son's. I share a birthday with Jackie, however she pronounces it. She was either born 1 year before me or the same birthday as me. I have seen her birthday listed twice over, but she was being born in Winston-Salem, and I was born a little ways north. Ekat. Good afternoon, young lady. Right back at you, young'un. Very accurate, Soul Star. That's why I keep telling you guys I'm only nice to nice people. Mike, I am very glad you told me about that volcano because a couple of the videos I found were extremely interesting. Yeah, a week after Soul Star's son, that's my birthday. Sharon Guy, I hope you have a great day. I know, Ecot, you are always busy. This is the place busy people come and, you know, busy people come to relax because everybody who comes here that I can think of is a very hard worker. Mike, check what you typed. I can't make out what you mean there. Sharon, I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. All of you guys work so hard, you make me feel lazy. I used to work that hard, 2 and 3 jobs at a time, 90 hours a week. There is a storage tank that they've been pouring water on for about a week now. And whatever is stored in it is highly combustible and it keeps heating up. They had the immediate neighborhood evacuated some time ago, but I guess the water is not doing its job. I saw some of the videos and it looks like people's homes are. Oh, I got you, Mike. I got you. Well, the ones editing stuff into it, shame on them. I I don't deal with fake very well at all. But thanks for telling me that, Mike. Uh, I was watching a couple of videos yesterday, and the information they were giving out was on subjects that I'd been following for some time. And just what they put in their own video contradicted themselves. And, guys, if I ever just mistalk, misspeak, and say something that doesn't sound right, let me know because the last thing I want to do is put out any information that's not accurate. And sometimes I know about stuff, just barely know about it. Don't know enough to get into details. I try to limit what I say to only what is most likely accurate. It's like, Mike, when you were telling me that CCR had number one songs streaming, these days, I don't deal with streaming, and I would have not known had you not told me. Roger Blair, good morning. And Roger says hello to everybody. Nah, fakery. It's it's terrible how confusing it is. I'll have to go back and look at that. And no, that's not International Space Station. John, you had some competition last night, brother. This guy came on Moggs's panel, and he had eaten all the cookies. So John P.'s been eating all the candy lately. This guy was eating all the cookies. He was drinking rum and coke while he was doing it. So, you know. On Stevie B and Moggs, Mogollon Monster, Why the Fascination. I think the guy was located in Maryland. Every once in a while, the breeze will hit Treezilla just right, and it looks like he's licking his lips. Really, I thought the guy that was talking about eating the cookies was, he said he was in Maryland. He was talking about hunting in Maine. Was his name Jeff? Mr. Lee, that would be a trip if we could all get together in Fatima. Yeah, Mike, I thought he said he lived in Maryland, but he was hunting in Maine. I hope to make it up to Maine one day. I've been wanting to photograph Baja Harbor for a long time. Yeah, I'd like to go there, John P. I let you know that before. I know it's a huge tourist destination, I would imagine, because of what happened in the early 1900s there. I don't expect to see anything, but it's like when I went down to that place where they had that cryptid sighting here in North Carolina. Uh, I didn't expect to see anything, but I wanted to go to the area and see what it was like there. Yeah, Roger, they went for 3 hours last night. It was a good show, though. Everybody had fun. Well, it's expensive. At least to me, it's expensive. I know there's other people that are better off financially, but there's a lot to see in the United States. Oh, uh, yeah, it would just be me. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. They don't want to hike with me. For some reason, they give out. I mean, there's people who hike more than I do. I just haven't got up with them yet. And I'm not going to wait around for somebody that can go with me. I'm going to go by myself. If I waited for somebody to come along, it would be forever and a day, and I'm not going to do that. Go to Italy for $30? No, not from here. I don't know if you'd want my cooking. I cook to survive. I'm not a chef. In 95, when we flew to Europe, uh, I think it was close to $600 for each of us. And while we were somewhere middle ways across the Atlantic, the airline that we were on went on strike. I'll be glad to whip up something for breakfast. But anything else, my skills go downhill real fast. Yeah, $50, $60 is about usual for most places I go here in the States. But I have a couple of people I know in Italy that it would be fantastic if I could visit them. I've not seen them in over 30 years. Jeez. That reminds me, I need to buy a lottery ticket. You can't win if you don't buy a ticket. Yeah, man, Mr. Lee. Pizza with black olives, garlic, lots of garlic, hamburger. On that flight, they finally got enough supervisors and people together to where they were having some flights. Uh, uh, it took us 24 hours to get back home. Thanks, Sharon. Don't be texting. We want you around a long time. Texting bad while driving. Yeah, pineapple. It depends on the other toppings. Typically, I don't do pineapple. It's a rare occasion. But lots of cheese, hamburger. Although I have had a barbecue chicken pizza that was pretty good. That's right, John P. But I mean, I know that the sentiment is not reciprocated in all cases, but uh, if I had my way about it, I'd travel around the country and meet every one of you. No, that's okay. Nope. Uh, in the best of circumstances, I would meet somebody on the trails while I'm hiking. Uh-oh. The rumors out there, Roger Blair's a vampire. Take it easy on Roger now. Oh man. Uh, exactly, Mike. Mike knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, well, it's an uphill battle for me, John P, because of asthma meds. I have to keep my distance. Mike, did you order you some of that chewing gum? The Japanese chewing gum, black black. That stuff is so good. I'm going to have to modify Nightbot. Bernadine does not show up anymore, or if she does, she's lurking. But that chewing gum is like popping 2 or 3 Altoids and downing a cup of coffee, because it's got about the same amount of caffeine as a cup of coffee. One stick of that gum. Yeah, she's Bernadine's in Africa, and I was really hoping, because of the time difference, I was hoping it'd be easy for her to come in. I think she has a farm there. I wish I have not been able to find it, but I wish I was able to get the little mints, black mints. Uh, they're just about the size of pellets used in the standard pellet cuckoo, and it's way stronger than Altoids. Uh, I'm crazy about those things. Kinder Bueno. I think John P has a sweet tooth. Teacher Crizzy. I've had espresso. It's okay. Teacher Crizzy, I hope you had a great day. When do you start back to school? Teacher Crizzy has some very lucky children. They have her for a teacher. See, Teacher Crizzy, everybody's happy to see you. Wow, Teacher Crizzy. Sonia does that. She has a YouTube channel dedicated to learning for kids in the Philippines. Well, Mr. Lee, you take care. Thanks for stopping in. We appreciate you. Don't get sunburnt. From the sound of things, you need SPF 5000. Teacher Crizzy, that's great. I mean, that is great. Like I said, Teacher Crizzy, they are lucky. I mean, lucky to have you for a teacher. 'Teacher Crizzy, I was perusing some of YouTube yesterday, day before, somewhere in there. And on Team International, there was a young lady singing that I had not run across before. She had an amazing voice. $200 American, because that's quite a few. I think your money is pesos. John P., search my channel, Jim's Camera at Dawn. I'm pretty sure I posted something about Judicolor Rock. I didn't catch the name, Teacher Crizzy, but she could sing. I mean, she could really sing. I didn't have time to listen or anything. I was just checking things out while I sit down for a minute. I'm sure she'll come up again. She was singing "Still Loving You" by the Scorpions, and that is not an easy song to sing. The lead singer for the Scorpions, I believe they're a German band. Man, he could hit some notes. So $100 is about 6,000 pesos. Okay. Teacher Chrissy, that's good to know. And I've got to know so many people in the Philippines. I know there's a bunch of different islands and everything, and it would be difficult to get everybody in one place. But I would, that would be fantastic to take a trip to the Philippines and meet everybody there. Roger Blair, are you talking about Chanda Guapa? That's great, Teacher Chrissy. Yeah, Chanda. Um, I have nothing to say. She was doing real good for a while, and then she changed what she was doing, and I stopped going to that channel. Yeah, but Roger, I'm pretty sure it's the same person because, like I said, uh, for a while there, she was doing really good. Then she started doing some things. I was just hopefully she got back on track. Oh, okay, Mike. Yeah, and I probably said more than I should have, but it is what it is. No, I don't think she is. She works alone. Chanda, that is. She's always on her channel by herself, or at least used to be. I haven't been to her channel in, geez, probably over a year. Yeah, right there. It looks like Treezilla is licking his lips. Donna, what's happening, young lady? And good evening to you, Donna. Are you back in Korea, or where are you at right now, Donna? Mike is probably in some big piece of equipment with it on autopilot, and he's able to peruse the internet. Mike, I don't know what was going on with last week, but you were having those breakdowns and getting stuck, and it just seems like every other person I know was having similar problems. Uh, I know two, three, yeah, three people that had older dogs and had to put them down in the last few days. It's just not been the best of times. So hopefully this week everything will get turned around and going back in the right direction for everybody. Yeah, that's it, Mike. You know, by definition, we only have one best day and one worst day. Everything else falls in the middle. Well, Teacher Crizzy, I appreciate you doing that. If you ever go live from your classroom, I will come up and talk to them, and I will tell them how lucky they are. Well, I got to go make a coffee run. You guys hold down the fort for a minute. I think it might be my last cup. Yep, last cup of coffee. I'm back. What did I miss? Oh no. Teacher Chrissy, ask them to pray for the world. I don't know what religion they practice, you guys practice there, but if they pray, ask them to pray for the world. We certainly need it. Soul Star, are you talking about Washington State or DC? Uh oh. I thought that chemical tank was in California. Oh, it is. Massive chemical tank explosion is eliminated California 1 day ago. Orange County. Cool. So a different tank blew up. Oh, geez. That's not good. It's like the data centers. You know, I knew they were putting up one in this county and the county over. And that was about it. Now I'm hearing they're just putting them up in just about every county. And I don't really see a need for one in every county. And a few years ago, food processing plants were getting or having accidents, shall we say. Just too many having accidents. Yeah, Roger. I That was the one I'd heard about, but apparently this other one was in Washington State and it exploded a short time ago. There's already a YouTube video. That's funny. BBC reports that the chemical tank in California, the threat has been eliminated. They reported that 1 day ago. And NPR reports that it had cracked and that it could still explode. That's why I don't like the news. They put their spin on stuff and try to uh, clickbait, so to speak. Apparently, it's an aerospace plant, the one in California. That's why I would rather hear directly from you guys about what's happening in your part of the world. I trust y'all more than I trust the press. And speaking of that, Mike should start a comedy news channel. Mike knows what's going on, and he can make just about any story funny. Yeah, kind of like Saturday Night Live used to do, but you know, the lighter stuff that's in the news. I don't know why, but I still find it funny. They would do stuff like this just in, and they would pick somebody that had been deceased for 10 or 20 years and say they're still deceased. Well, we appreciate you keeping us up to date, Soul Star. Nah, Roger Blair, that's true. Oh, geez. You just never know in South Carolina. The, I lived in South Carolina for a while, and I met a lot of really good people. I enjoyed the people that I met there and everything. But then on the other side of that story, it's I think her name was Susan Smith. She unalived her three children because her boyfriend didn't like kids. I mean, that's just crazy. And I'm sure stuff like that goes on everywhere, but that's just so sad. I can't imagine someone thinking that way. Mike, I knew someone who worked at a local hospital, and they never gave me names or any identifying information. But some of the stories they told me about people coming into the ER, it was just nuts. Coke bottles, wine bottles, champagne bottles, all in orifices that they were not made to go. Um, it it depends. I'll check with some people I know and see if I can find out. people do. I don't know. You know, when we were the place I was working in South Carolina, we were having to work from home when the pandemic hit. And some of the stuff that was on the news, what people were doing while they were in these meetings online, and we were having one of those meetings, and somebody was talking about how they enjoyed being able to work from home so they could do certain things while they were on the phone at home. It's like you're telling your supervisor you're doing this. It's stupidity. It would be an upgrade for the people. A wind-blown umbrella. Wow. I mean, those full-size umbrellas usually have a metal point on one end, so I guess if the wind got it going fast enough. And hit in the right place. I mean, it doesn't take much. The human body is very frail and tough all at the same time. Sharon, you are very correct. See what I mean? There you go, Mike. The family of the woman might not appreciate that joke, but still, Death by Mary Poppins. That's funny. I wonder if it was her umbrella or somebody else's. Believe it or not, Sharon, he did not get fired. Sharon, that's one of the complaints that I've probably had this conversation with 2 or 3 people just in the last week or two. Supervisors will let the people that goof off, they'll let them goof off And the people who are willing to work, they will work them to death because it's easy for them to do. That's right, Soul Star. And that's the way it should be. I mean, the, that statement should have gotten him gone right then. But they just, some of the stuff going on in the workplace, I mean, people are just like one person, uh, they refuse to call me by my name. And the only reason, they never stated their reason, but the only reason I can think of is they just wanted to be annoying. I've gone into, not many, but I've gone into a few restaurants when I'm on the road and stood at the counter and nobody offered to help. They would look at what I was doing, but they wouldn't offer to help. And after a minute or two, it's like, well, guess they don't want my business. I'll go someplace else. So, how do we tell uh, the chains, the corporate, whoever, that kind of stuff is going on and it's costing them business? Because if you think about it, the whoever's there, if they ignore people, they have less work to do and they're making the same money, but the owner of the business is losing money. I mean, you go into some of these big box stores. If they ignore you, like I said, they've got less work to do. They make the same money, and the only person who suffers is the person who needs help. And uh, money is lost to the business. Sharon, I wish it was that way everywhere. And what you just said is also a key factor. A boss that works. When I was working, Radio Shack's closed down, so I think I can tell this safely. I was working at Radio Shack, and one of the coworkers, he said that he would kill to be a supervisor. Uh, and just a day or two later, we were supposed to stock something. You know, Radio Shack had 20,000 items, and stuff was always coming in and had to be put on the shelves. He was complaining about doing it. He said, I don't need to be doing this. And I was thinking he didn't want to do something that simple, but he gave more weight to that than somebody's life. If you really want to be supervisor and you're willing to commit murder, maybe you should put stuff on a shelf. I'm just saying. So I'm pretty sure if that person ever got to be supervisor somewhere, they would be one of those supervisors that just sit back and watch people work, let his buds that didn't want to do anything do just that. And the people that were workers, he would make them work hard. And, Sharon, thinking about what you said, um, I, I, your husband would have to be in the right business here to be appreciated. I think there would be too many businesses where he wouldn't be appreciated for doing that. Oh yeah, Soul Star. Uh, Here in the South, that's like saying "Hey you." I mean, it's nothing to it. Dear, sweetie, stuff like that. Nobody means anything other than happy to see you, and that's where it ends. When all of this political correctness was starting up, there was a woman who was complaining about a guy having a photo of a woman in his cubicle. And she was scantily clad, but I mean, more than a bikini, less than street clothes. And one day I just happened to be in her office, and she had a picture up on her wall of pretty much a male dancer in the skimpiest of skimpy, more skimpy than the European bathing suits. And I'm not a fan of those dual uh, rules. I like one set of rules for everybody. And Soul Star, that has gotten carried to the point now where uh, something that Stevie B was talking about last night, where they live in Florida, she says it's uncommon for people to speak to strangers. They'll avoid eye contact and whatnot. And that's true in a lot of places. But you get out into some of these smaller towns, especially in the South, people's going to say hello, how you doing? Uh, but too many people are just afraid to speak at all. Oh, this probably happened last year. I was in the local big box store, and this woman was walking by. She was an employee, and I just said, "Hello, hope you're having a good day." She probably got 20 foot away from me. She turned around, come running back. She said, "Hello, I'm just not used to people being nice." She was she walked that far before she realized that somebody had just said hello to her and wasn't bugging her or making a pass at her or anything stupid. Yeah, I know, but it got to where it didn't matter what your intentions were. All that mattered was how somebody could take anything you said and twist it into an insult. I was back in a department, and somebody I knew back there was not having a very good day. And so I just kind of, kept my distance, didn't want to bug them or anything. And when they were talking about how bad their day was. So as I was leaving, I just said, I hope your day improves and that you have a good day. And they went off. I'll have the day I want. Don't you be telling me to have a good day, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, you would have thought I'd walked up and slapped them. And then I understood why they were having a bad day. They kind of made their own luck that way. And by the way, Soul Star, thank you for YouTube proofing your comment. Yeah, it's kind of silly what they're doing, but for whatever reason, they like to exert their authority. That platform that rhymes with tumble, I I hope they keep developing it to where it's more user friendly. Yeah, Roger, it's sad. It is sad. But how to put this? If they seem to not want to help people and just lazy, I do my absolute best to just lay on the kindness so thick and ask questions that I normally wouldn't ask. But it's got to be a certain circumstance. I wouldn't do that to all of them. And then there's some employees that have been so good and so helpful. If I need something or not, I try to, wave at them, if I see them at a distance, or if I pass them, ask them how their day's going and let them know I'm glad to see them. Sorry it has to be here. But even that, you kind of got to be careful because somebody could twist that the wrong way. The meaning is good to see you. I'm sorry you have to be at work to see you. Glad you're able to work. Sorry you have to, type thing. I lucked out the other day. There was a store employee that was intentionally blocking my way. And I asked for a manager, and I just totally lucked out. It was a manager I had talked to before, and they were overly helpful and just did a great job. They come up smiling. I said, "Well, I'm sorry, but today it's not a good thing. It's a not so good thing." Explain the situation, and they begged me to tell them the exact employee, and I told her uh, that no, I'm not going to give you the employee's name because other people have done it by accident and just because they're not paying attention. But if I call out a particular employee, you might get the wrong impression thinking that I'm going after that employee. I'm not. I'm going after the action, not the employee. Yeah, Soul Star, that's true. But that's their choice. I mean, there's a couple of people that don't come on my channel because, I try to keep that to a minimum. On the nature channel, I keep it to 0. Here, I try to keep it PG-13, something like that. Because you can't talk about rock and roll and not approach some of those subjects. But, that's their business. The ones that try to stir up trouble and stress and everything, they're just doing that for clickbait. Like Mike said earlier, the volcano video, there were people putting in stuff, editing it with AI and whatnot. So, got to be careful with that. As much as I'm interested in the subject, there was that day during one of the live feeds, a football shaped object flew over the tree. We have no idea what it was. I mean, I looked at it on the big screen. I slowed it down, and all I can say is it looked like a football, and it was going from south to north. Yeah, I know what you mean, Soul Star. Yeah, I remember the aliens at the mall. Oh, what's his name? David Letterman. The that used to be his thing, and stopped watching him for that very reason. He would say things that were totally not true, and I didn't want to waste my time figuring out what he was saying, whether it was true or not. And all the digital editing, there goes Treezilla licking his lips again. All the digital editing and everything and faking stuff, and now with AI, it's just crazy. I mean, I created the thumbnails for this channel using the AI that's on my laptop here. I didn't use anything that's like Grok or Chat GPT or any of that, but it did a pretty good job. And I used it to create the Robert Johnson thumbnail, and I liked it. I thought it did a good job. But other than that, like one of the thumbnails where I've got the CDs and books and everything, I just took stuff off my shelf and arranged it and took a picture of it. But the table with coffee on it, and that one I generated it using AI. Now, I like that. It's what I hope these morning coffees to be is, just sitting around a kitchen table and chit chatting, having a coffee or whatever you want to drink. If people want to create something that's fake as a joke and they tell everybody it's a joke, that's one thing. But trying to fool people into thinking the wrong stuff, that's just totally wrong. Oh, there's a good breeze coming up. Yeah, I know, Roger. I, I, I can't stress this enough. I think everyone needs to, that has not read George Orwell's 1984 and Animal Farm, I really think they need to read those two books. And in 1948, the fact that he wrote about pictures on a wall that were used to spy on the population. And all that is a flat screen TV that most places have on their walls today. That's, to me, just amazing that he got that right to that extent. And I think it was around 1980. I watched, there was a movie out called Demon Seed, and it was about an artificial intelligent computer that was just so advanced it would think for itself. It was AI before AI was coined, and in that movie, the AI, in order to trick some people, they put up fake video on their security systems. And when me and my buddy walked out of the theater, I said, we're going to see that in our lifetime. They will be able to create fake videos from a computer. And he thought I was nuts. And I said, nope, science fiction has a way of doing that. If you like old movies, I highly recommend that one. It's called Demon Seed, and it stars Julie Christie, I think is her name. All right, guys, it's over 2 hours. I appreciate every one of you for coming in this morning. I hope it helped you ease into your day. It always makes my day. Always. So I hope the rest of your day goes well and only kind words come your way.